It's finally here, guys. The new season of iRacing has finally arrived. Not without its issues, unfortunately, as it is got so much hype around it due to rain being added to iRacing after God knows how many years in the works. Yeah, the servers have got overloaded. The UI, unfortunately, is struggling to admit people, and there's also couple of bugs, a real big one unfortunately that kind of got in the way of making this video, but that didn't stop me from sliding my way in and downloading the Super Formula Lights car and giving you guys a first look and impression of this car. For anyone who doesn't know this channel and myself, I'm a massive fan of open wheel cars. It's predominantly what I spend my time in on iRacing. And well, we got a brand new one. We got the Super Formula's little brother, the Super Formula Lights car. So yeah, let's take it around Silverstone, as is customary on this channel with brand new cars, my favourite track in the world, in the dry firstly, and see how it handles. And then, of course, we'll have a look at this car in the rain. So let's get into it. Right, so let's go. Let's have a look. So first and foremost, first impressions of it's very similar to a Formula 3 car. The steering wheel is almost identical. The wheels, maybe it's because I've been driving Super Formula quite often, and recently the F1, the W13. The wheels seem to be very like low below the chassis as I'm sitting here. So just an insight there, guys. Bit off-putting, to be honest, to start off with, but I'm sure we'll get used to it. So let's see what this car is like. Front end looks kind of similar-ish and very similar to the Super Formula. Oh, I like that turbo. I love the turbo whiz. So far, so good. Feels nice. We'll get a bit of heat into the tyres and then we'll really try and start throwing it around. Oh, okay, very, very sharp front end on this setup there. Just running the high downforce setup because, oh wow, okay. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, that's, yeah, got a very, very sharp front end. Loosey-goosey on the rear. That was better. Let's see how it does in this. Oh, nice little lock up there. So brake bias very far forward, 58%. Bit too far forward for my liking. Right, so one lap, and it feels good. As I said, a bit loose on the rear. Now, this car isn't replacing the Formula 3 series from the outset. That series will be running side by side at C license in this car. I assume this is also going to have an open and fixed setup available to it, running alternatively on the hours. And yes, Greg West was in a Tony Kanaan live stream and indicated that the F3 series will be running for the foreseeable. So maybe in the future that eventually will be discontinued, as that car has been on the platform for around 4 years now, and also isn't the current F3 car that is used in real world, in real life. That is very, very disconcerting through Cop's Corner there. I'll try and keep it flat next time. Oh my god, I mean, doesn't bode well. I'm not even in the rain yet. And I've already lost control of the car. Huh. And I'm on a higher downforce setup. So yeah, it definitely feels a lot looser than what the F3 car is. Last time I drove the F3 car, you can really throw that into corners. This feels like it's, on this setup at least, drives very, very differently. Now, if it's similar to the Super Formula car, it may be very sensitive on its tyre temperatures. Now, in the Super Formula car, if you have a slight little slide through a corner, it can only be a small one, you are at such a disadvantage in the next few corners, or almost like the half a lap really, because you just lose kind of all grip as you've just spiked the temperatures in the tyres. And let's try and keep it flat out through here. Okay, give me a second, guys. I'm just going to go check that I have got high downforce set up on and not the low downforce. So I definitely do have high downforce set up on. That is intriguing. That is very intriguing. I'm going to change setup and see if there's something that's a little bit more balanced. Right, now on the baseline setup. See how this is. I'm very wary now of how kind of pointy that high downforce setup was. And how loose it was on the rear. We'll see if it reacts the same on this baseline setup. That doesn't feel as pointy there, which is good. See if we can keep it flat through cops. With the speeds that we're carrying, should be able to, I think. No, we can't. However, I did lose it later in the corner there, guys. I did lose it later in the corner, so join me in a couple of corners' time. Right, we're back. We're back at cops again, so slight lift here. Yeah. So that's the baseline setup and the high downforce setup that we've used. And it definitely does feel like that this car has a looser rear and is a lot more pointy than what I remember the F3 car is. I feel like the F3 car is quite similar to the Formula 4 car, where you can really throw it into the corners, almost get sideways. Sometimes you feel like you're drifting the car. Then you are necessarily kind of going forward. That must be where I'm going wrong. But you know what I mean. You feel like you could really like. It's just kind of sometimes feels like it's a very big go-kart. And this, I mean, I'm intrigued to see the speed comparisons and do some comparative laps against the F3. Does feel like this has a bit more oomph behind it, but you can definitely feel like they're. And I don't think that's just because of cold tyres. I think that's the nature of this car. Is that it's just a bit more loose on the rear, a bit more pointy. I'm sure that can probably be dialed out with setup work. Something that's above my knowledge and know-how to do. But a bit more use, kind of similar to the Super Formula really. I feel like sometimes you have to really direct the car with your brake, with your trail braking, and control the rear. And of course, with this being its baby brother, it seems to be that that's the case also. So we'll do Cops and Magus and Beckett's one more time. Yeah, just a slight lift there. Really feel the rear wanting to come round on itself. This is going to be fun in the rain. Yeah, slight lift through there. Just, yeah, I have to be a little bit more patient on the throttle. Very, as I said, very similar to the Super Formula in an essence, but just not quite as severe. Of course, the Super Formula provides a bit more downforce because it's going faster and has a much more intricate and detailed aero package than this, but I can see myself having some fun in this. I can see there being lots of crashes also. Right, so that's enough of the first kind of impression of this car. Love that turbo noise. Let's now dive into the rain, see how, of course, this rain feature, the Tempest system that is brand new to iRacing, and particularly how this car handles in that. If you can handle this car in the rain, and if I can, I think you'll be able to handle any car in the rain. So yeah, let's let's put it to the test. So we hopped into a rain session with the setting just one down from extreme. We may see this sort of weather in officials, who knows. But the key thing here, unfortunately, was that with iRacing experiencing some server issues, it seems that they were also experiencing some bugs, because I chucked on the baseline wet setup, which has wet tyres, put on the Super Formula Lights car, and well, those tyres definitely aren't wet. Where are the treads? They are as smooth as anything. And, well, this was confirmed by a member of my community who sent me a screenshot of their own Super Formula Light on wet tyres. And, yes, those are definitely wet tyres. I did try other setups. I did try coming out of the sim and reloading back into it. And, unfortunately, nothing fixed the issue. And then I got to a point where one time I tried to get back into the test session, I couldn't. So yes, unfortunately, the rain is going to have to wait for me for the time being until iRacing are able to fix their issues. I'm not going to have a chance, as I record this, to wait around this evening and jump on for that opportunity. So that will have to happen later on in the week. I'm sure iRacing, well, they've even announced as I'm recording this that they are hopping straight onto the issues and are aware of them. But yeah, I wanted to get my first impressions for you guys of this particular car, because we love our open wheel cars and I love the Super Formula car. I'm intrigued to see how, as always, this car will drive once the setup shop boys get a hand on them. But I think the fact that I tried the high downforce setup and the baseline setup, which is supposed to be a bit more balanced, the fact of it felt very pointy and on the rear, as it did very loose on the rear, I think is a characteristic of this car, and may make it difficult, a lot more difficult, I think, for people to transition from the Formula 3 car over to this car, because yeah, from memory, the F3 car just drives a completely different way to this. So yeah, we will see. Time will tell. Intrigued to see how this thing handles in the rain. As I said, if you can handle this thing in the rain, you can handle anything, I think. But yeah, that will have to wait and will come in a separate video or stream. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know if you've had a chance to jump on iRacing and have a go in the rain in this car. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And yeah, I hope to see you out on track soon. See you for the next one. Bye.